thousands of dollars to come to Canada on a study visa. Remember, one small mistake can destroy everything. These mistakes can cost you your future, your status, and force you to leave this country. So in this video, I will show you what are the important documents you need to have when you applying your study permit extension. Or can you work after you apply your extension? And what are the important proof of funds that you need to include in your application? So without wasting any more time here, let's jump into the video. So important document needed for your study permit extension. So it's very important to find out whether you need PAL, like your Provincial Attestation Letter, or you are exempt from it. Because these letters are mandatory requirements to apply for study permit extension, and you cannot apply your extension without having these documents. So check carefully way before in advance, like which letter applies to your situation, whether a PAL letter or the PAL exemption letter. And do not wait for the end moment because it could take little time to receive those letters from college. Now understand from IRCC which letter actually applies to your situation. So click on the first link here. Here you can see who needs a PAL letter. So unless you meet one of the exception, you must submit a PAL letter. And your PAL letter validity is until December 31st, 2025 for the 2025 study permit gap year. This means that your PAL was issued between January 22nd to December 31st. Now let's understand when to get a new PAL letter. So your study permit application was accepted for processing and you voluntarily withdraw your application, or your study permit application was not accepted for processing. This means that your fee was refunded and you were told that your application was not processed. And you must get a new PAL under this condition. So I'm going to attach this link in the video and you can go and check. Now let's understand who doesn't need a PAL letter. You can read all the situations here, but let's go through. This is the important one. So you have entered Canada and one of the following situation applies to you. Like you are applying for a study permit extension at the same DLI and level of study as your current study permit. Most of the students come under this situation. They are at the same DLI and they are doing the same level of the study. So they don't need the PAL letter. They are PAL exempt. And you are under a removal order but can't be removed from Canada at this time. You have a TRV and you are a protected person under this situation. But this is the most important one which I'm highlighting, and that's how you are PAL exempt. But you can go through this entire link which I have already attached under the video description. You can ask these letters from college, drop in the comment box, and I'm happy to share my format. Just edit as per your situation. But in addition to the PAL or the exemption letter, you will also need the following documents like your new semester enrollment letter, or you need to have your letter of acceptance from your new course, your valid passport which has the all stamp copy, or your recent passport size photo. And in the financial proof, you need to have your tuition receipt, your GIC, the bank statement, which I'm going to explain in the very detail at the very last. So stay tuned. These are the essential documents which you need to have when you apply your study permit extension. Now let's understand once you apply what you can expect. The first thing is that you will receive your acknowledgement of receipt from IRCC. That's called AOR. This basically means that your application has been received, and if you applied before, like your current study permit expires, you are now officially under implied status. And under implied status, you can continue to study and work as per the condition of your previous study permit, as long as you stay in Canada. And if you wanted to check what is the processing time going on currently in Canada for study permit extension, click on the check processing time at IRCC here. Here select an application type. It's a temporary resident. In temporary resident application, it is study permit extension. Click on this and get processing time. You can see here this is the latest one as per the July 16, 2025. It's only 175 days. So it is reducing every week. So now it's only 175 days. And now let's understand, can you work after applying for a study permit extension in Canada? So let's break it down because it depends on when you apply and what is your current status. So scenario number 1. You applied for your study permit extension before your current permit expired. So basically now you are under implied status. This means you can actually continue studying and working just like before, no changes in that. But remember one thing, you must stay in Canada. If you leave while under implied status, re-entering can be very difficult since you don't have a valid permit or your TRV. If your application is approved, good news, you will get a new study permit and can apply for your TRV or your temporary resident permit. But if it's rejected, do not panic. The first thing what you need to do is apply for a restoration of your status. And during this time, you cannot study or work. But the good news is you are allowed to stay in Canada legally until a decision is made. Scenario number 2. You applied after your current permit has already expired. So first of all, in this case, you are out of status and you cannot study or work, and you have only 90 days to apply for a restoration of status and extend your study permit. And to do that, your application fees is 389.75 Canadian dollar. And during this period, you cannot work and you cannot study, but you can stay in Canada legally until a decision is made. If your application is approved, you'll get a new study permit and can resume your studies and part-time work. But if it gets rejected, you must leave Canada. So in short, you cannot work in Canada if you apply after your study permit expires while waiting for a restoration of a decision, and if your permit extension is rejected. So make sure to apply before your current permit expires to avoid all this stress. Financial proof or proof of funds for study permit extension. This is one of the most important question I get asked all the time. Like, what financial proof is needed for study permit extension? So first, if you have already paid your next semester fees or the next course fees, make sure to attach the receipt in your application. You also need to show the living expenses for at least the next semester. Like, calculate the required funds like your cost of living in Canada according to the latest proof of funds requirement or the GIC requirement set by IRCC. And if you are not sure what updated requirement, I am sharing it on screen right now, and I have also added the link in the description box. Now, financial proof actually depends on your situation. Let's understand the first scenario. If you are working. So if you are working, you need to attach your recent bank statement, include your employment letter, your pay stub, or your GIC if applicable. Or if you have any additional savings you may have, include everything in your application. The second scenario, when you are not working and your parents are sponsoring you. In that case, you need to include a sponsorship letter from them, their bank certificate or their bank statement, like at least 6 to 8 months. Any GIC or the savings they have or you have, you need to include that in your application. So these documents play a crucial role in the approval of your study permit extension. So make sure that they are complete and up to date. And write your entire story in your SOP to explain to visa officer that why you need your study permit extension. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you like this, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or you need a PAL exemption letter, drop me in the comment box and I'm happy to reply as per my experience. It's Aarti Khajuria, and I will see you in the next video with more information. Until then, stay informed and take care.